Yes. Welcome back again. I'm sorry, brother. Okay. Welcome back again to the Focus Group. This is your host, Tuku Moita, and it's a good day. This is the new Monday in Kenya. Mondays have been taken out by maandamano. And the year is 2023, the 21st March. Yes. Monday, Tuesdays are the new Mondays. Moving forward, my apologies, I got some hiccups there. But yes, we're back again live, bringing you the hottest and the trending news that you will be hearing in this show and this show alone. Yes. Now, Bonasadakta is still not back yet. I'm not going to make any promises, but he says he's going to come soon. Sijui kama alikwama kwa maandamano, but yes, he says he's going to be back soon, and we're still going to wait for him. And now, joining us today is the headline that I've put up there, and I'm calling it Inviting the Handshake Season 2. You know, after the maandamano yesterday, I was kind of hoping we'll see some invitation to the State House. Babali to promise another State House. Unfortunately, we didn't see much of him going to the State House. But he made some routes. He went all the way to Jogoo Road. He went to Eastleigh. He made his way to Juja Road. And eventually he closed his day and went back home to Karen. And we went back home to our homes. Unga bado ijapungua. But yes, I that is not for me to analyze. But this is what I'm seeing coming. What I'm seeing coming is a handshake. Another handshake. We saw the first handshake the last time, and I'm seeing another handshake coming in. And I'm very, very worried about my brother, my let me call him my father, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua. You see, when this handshake comes in, I don't see any accommodation for Rigathi Gachagua. And it is coming with full force because people, the dilapidated government officials, that is Mr. Matiang'i and the rest, are getting sanitized. Matiang'i is coming back to the government. And I'm seeing a Raila handshake very soon with His Excellency the President, Mr. Ruto. This is something that I would say is inevitable. It is coming. Eventually, it will be here and it will be home. You know, Mr. Ruto and Mr. Raila once worked together, and they really had a force. They worked together, and I believe they worked together better. And some hatred comes in, and they say where the most hatred is where the most heart was. It meant there was true love. So that is why you see the people who end up hating each other the most. It is the people who got hurt by the breakup the most. And I believe these two people had a very, very strong bond. That is why, hence the hatred now. But not focusing on that, now focusing on Mr. Rigathi Gachagua. I wonder where Mr. Rigathi Gachagua will be left. Because now, room will have to be made for Mr. Matiang'i. And room will have to be made for the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. And since now Mudavadi took the position of Prime Minister, I wonder where the Mr. Raila will be fixed. Hapo tu katikati. So now there will be layers of power, and Mr. Rigathi Gachagua is going to be squeezed a bit notches below, because this handshake is coming. And take it from me, this handshake is coming. If you're going to see a repeat of what we saw yesterday, if there's going to be another Monday maandamano, I can promise you that a handshake is inevitable. I know this because I've seen His Excellency the President. I'm sorry, I think we got stuck with the deputy. Mr. President trying to at least lower his guard to allow the country to move forward. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Matiang'i. And it is the same thing that is going to happen in this case. It means that a handshake is going to come. And my worry is that Mr. Raila is not going to accept anything less than the second. And the second being regardless, I wonder where he's going to be left. I can actually see the fear in him already. You see, normally, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, he has this zeal when he's making his speeches. And the last speech I saw was of that of a worried man. He himself can see it coming. He can see danger from afar. He can see a breakup coming from afar. He can see some worries. He can tell that the weather is changing and it is coming by force. But yesterday, what we saw says that Raila Amolo Odinga is a force to reckon with. This is a man that he is in one way or the other equally, if not equally, quite powerful. He gave us a holiday yesterday. After December 25th, I go give. I was making my way to work and I was quite surprised seeing that there was nobody in the streets. It was a public holiday. And this thing was going on back in South Africa. It was going on in Tunisia. The consolidation of that was, I won't say it was amazing. It was a disruption for the day. A lot of people made a lot of losses. But you cannot ignore the fact that it happened. And the fact that it is going to continue happening if Raila doesn't get what he wants, or what he wants for the public, whichever it is that he wants. Someone told me whatever Raila wants is whatever Raila wants. Whether Unga ishuke or whether Raila gets a handshake, it is what Raila wants, and it is what he's going to place on the table, and it is what he's going to get. He's gotten it before. This is not the first time. This is not the second time. He's gotten it before. He got it through during the Moi's era. He got it during the Kibaki's era. He got it during the Uhuru's era. And here again we are with the fifth president of this country. And I believe Raila is going to get what he wants. But now what worries me is the shift and the change of administration in this country. You see, this is a cycle that has happened before. And we saw the discourse, we saw the disconnect that was there in government. We had one of those governments whereby we have government in government and government not in government. It is partially in government. And it made us suffer, and it is the reason why we are suffering right now. That is why 1,000 shillings cannot fill a paper bag in a supermarket. That is why a salary that used to satisfy most of the people in this country can no more sustain their lives. And I believe if we continue doing so, if you continue with the trends, it is going to hurt us and hurt us every single day. And that is why I started with this conversation. And I said that at the end of the maandamano, the former Prime Minister went back to Karen, and we went back home to our homes. I don't think you saw the amount of security that surrounded a state house. So it means these two lives are very valuable. If you look at the police targeting yesterday, wakirusha tear gas na wakirusha ile maji ya kujikuna, they were very precise and they were very specific not to touch the vehicles that the Honorable Raila Odinga was in. So this goes to tell you that it is you and me that are going to suffer. If there's a disconnect in the administration, it is you and me that is going to suffer. But this leaves the whole conversation to them, not to us. We can go to the street, we can fight, we can be put to jail, but we will never change this conversation. I can promise you that. We as a people will never change this conversation. Only these people can change that conversation. And it is sad, but it is the reality. There's a picture here that paints a picture of a mwananchi that is powerful. The Constitution in its first line says that the sovereignty of this what lies with us. It does not. It lies with these people, the principles. That is the blunt truth, and it is going to remain the same. So unless these people sit down and they get what they want, both of them, if they sit down and get what they want, then we get what we want. But mwananchi will never change the course of this country. Mwananchi will never make a decision in this country. It is what it is, and we need to accept that. We need to accept that the only thing that is going to change our lives is if only these people get what they want. That is what is going to change our lives. And I would plead with people that we let them work their issues out. I know people will go out again, and people will go out to fight because there is pain that is pinching our hearts. There is pain that is pinching our wallets. I understand that. Everybody in this country is feeling it. But these people will never feel it, because we continue to shield them from the reality. Probably right now, the president was only shown videos of a very clean town. He was never shown videos of people being brutally tear gassed, people being splashed with one of those very, probably the president will never see such images. The only images would be shown was maybe somewhere in the airport, very peaceful, all that. You see, these people will never get to feel our pain. The same analogy that was used to make the campaigns in the last elections, that is the hustlers versus the dynasties. There is no hustler in that social class. And I want you to understand that there is no hustler in the president. There is no hustler in the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. These are not hustlers. Hustlers are me and you. Hustler is anybody who will get, let me say, sufferer, not hustler. Sufferer is anybody who will get into a supermarket and feel the pain of buying 2 pieces of kiberitis. Because you want to buy one and make room for your wallet to buy another product. That is a sufferer. These people probably never set foot in a supermarket. They have people to do that for them. So I want you to understand that we will never change anything in this country. Me and you will never have any decision in this country. It is not about us. It is about them. And up until they get what they want, that is the only time we will get our not so much of fair share. There is nothing like fair share for us. It is only for them. So please understand that this is your space, that is their space, and we need to know where the line lies. Now, moving on, that was my 2 cents. That was food for anybody who's out there. I'm not saying people should not undermine. I'm only saying that is my 2 cents. If it gets to you, it gets you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And good luck to everybody. I support Maandamano. I support not Maandamano. So I'm there in between. All I'm saying is it is not our fight. It will never be our fight. I know we are suffering, and I know we feel the pain, and we feel like going out there and throwing a stone. I personally feel like so, but it is not our fight. It will never be our fight. I want you to understand that. Moving on now to the dynasties class now. You see, these people will get what they want eventually. Back to the conversation I was having first. And when they get what they want eventually, now we will have another fight now. Another fight of Gachagua versus whom. Because you see, once Baba gets what he wants, someone will have to be pushed out. And that is the reality. It is what it is. And it is coming. We should not run from it. It is coming. So it is for me to address you and prepare you. Once this fight is over, there will be another fight from someone else to secure what they believe is theirs. So this cycle will never end. It will be a cycle of this versus that, versus that, versus that, versus that. And please understand, these people will always go back to their suburbs. These people will always go to these places where you have to drive 2 kilometers from the gate to the main house. We go back to our houses where you make one step and you're at the end of the room. You make another step, you step on something. That is where we will go back. And they will go back to their, I don't know what they're called. Very large areas where they keep lions and giraffes in the capital city of Nairobi. That is where these people are going to go back. So I want you to understand that after this fight, and I can assure you, this is not rumors, this is reality. After this fight, there is another one coming. So please, know your line, know where you're going to place your allegiance. Just know where you're going to place your strength. And I believe your strength lies for you going to work and trying to come with more innovative ways to make an extra coin. Because life is not getting any easier. Especially if these people are going to go with the way they are going right now. Life is only going to go harder. It's only going to get harder. Because once we get to another handshake, now we're going to spend another 5 years with other politics that were not there. Politics is going to take a whole new turn. And you see, these people have enough money to sustain the instability in this country. We do not have that. So I would rather you use your strength in the right way. I would rather you use your strength in trying to come up with more innovative way of making an extra coin. Because to remind you again, after this fight, there is another fight coming. So please, Maandamano, I believe it is a very good thing, but we will never have such thing like a peaceful Maandamano in this country because we have policemen who do not get to exercise what they've been trained for very much. This is a very peaceful country. And as we know, there are GSU officers who've been trained. They don't get to see war, so they try and exercise that they were trained for when these such like things happen. So please, there will be no such thing like peaceful Maandamano in this country. Someone will have to get hurt. And I believe, and this I believe strongly, what Raila Amolo Odinga is doing, if he's not doing it for his own purposes, there is a legitimate concern here that needs to be addressed. There is a very serious conversation here that we need to have. It's only that this conversation does not belong to us. We cannot have this conversation. Nobody made it a quarter way to the State House. Probably Raila met with Ruto in the evening and they had a very good laugh about it. And probably they met in that State House. Hey, uliona nilikuwa karibu kufika. That's the conversation these people have. We will never have that conversation with Ruto. You will never have that conversation with Ruto. You will never have that conversation with Raila Amolo Odinga. You will never. But they will have that conversation. And if they want to, they can resolve that conversation on their own terms. It's only that one wants to show the other I have power and the other wants to show the other I'm the one who have power. And these people will never end all these wars. These wars will be there. And someone else will come with their own grievances. As I'm telling you right now, when the handshake comes, the Rigathi Gachagua now will have to come with his own grievances and probably give people some hope of a better tomorrow. It is the same hope you were given last time when a handshake came. Now unga is 200 plus. So please put your strength to the right prospects, and if we have to andamana, please let's do it in a very good way. Yesterday, I'm proud. Yesterday, people tried as much to be very peaceful, but as I said, it will never be peaceful. It will never be peaceful. I remember an instance whereby I saw when Raila Amolo Odinga was coming from Serena, from the hotel. And people were splashed with this water and people were tear gassed, but nobody retaliated to that. Nobody tried to make any efforts to at least throw anything. I saw some bodyguards trying to have a conversation with the police. The police came out guns blazing and tried to whip the bodyguard. That was a very good thing. People showed that we are not here to fight. We are here to express what we believe is right. Basotho, on the other hand, I believe Sifuna in Narok said the CS ana sound sijui kama nini. Yesterday alikuonyesha it doesn't sound kama huyo. But it is a good thing. It is a good conversation we've started having. It is a conversation of we are not here to fight. We are not here to fight. I saw when the Raila Odinga was in Isili, that was a very big mass. They could have started throwing stones to the police. Nobody threw the stones. People indulged in they just dispersed and have the conversation, had the speech by the former prime minister, and people moved on. I believe that's a conversation we should be having. It is a good one, but let's avoid violence. Violence will never lead us anywhere. We saw what 207 did to this country. We saw the scars it left up until now. Those are scars that will never go away. This is calm that is there because we've chosen to be the bigger people. We've chosen to be the people who are led by peace, not people who are led by hatred. And I want you to think of 207 and think these are the two people who are on the same side on that time. What has changed? Why can't we come together? Why can't they come together? Because I know these people have a conversation. They normally meet in these hotels. Hautaipatana na Raila na Ruto wakiwa kwa kibanda. They normally go to the same hotels. They normally go to the same gyms. They normally go to the same churches. They normally go to the same social places. So I'm very sure, probably not the same social places. Nasikia Mr. Bill doesn't visit maeneo ingine, lakini I'm sure they meet in some places. So this is a conversation they can have. Why can't they have that conversation? Why can't they pull each other's hand and say, yes, we love this country so much? You know, that's a question I asked myself yesterday. These people are ruling us. And if they love this country so much, why wouldn't the president call Mr. Raila yesterday and told him, nimeona mambo inaendelea hapo nje, biashara za watu zinasimama, mali ya watu inaharibika, why don't you come to State House alone and let us have a conversation? If these people claim to love this country as much as they do, as they say they do, because I do not know if they love this country, but they claim they do. Why can they call each other? Because they have phones. I'm sure they have each other's numbers. When this thing was happening, why wouldn't the president call Raila and tell him, please, come to State House, I'm inviting you, but come alone? Why wouldn't Raila reach out to the president on the previous days before 20th came and told him, brother, let's meet at Kwa hiyo Serena, let's have a conversation? What is going on? Umeshindwa kuendeleza serikali? Can we help you out? Tutakusaidia aje? You see, I know mliambiwa mpitie Karen before umefika State House, but yes, all the same, mungeshikana mkono and try and come up with a resolution for this. Food for the thought. Thank you very much, Mr. CK. I think I'm going to end the show right there. And I think we're only going to do the prayer for the today. And yes, Mr. CK, Director amelala kidogo. I think amelala kidogo. We have no more to say. Mr. CK, I think we end the show. Thank you very much for the day. And we'll be joining you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you very much.